Right, and that's why we have to. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So why don't we jump into the Q&A if that makes sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get this going. So feel free to just jump on, unmute, raise a hand, whatever, and fire off any questions you have. This should be a lot of fun. Who wants to go first? Yep. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So the question is, what should I prioritize financially in my 20s? So, you're just graduating, and sorry, you are okay. You have one more year, and then you're graduating. Sorry, apologies. Yeah. So, what you should prioritize. I mean, you don't have to wait until you graduate. You can do this now. But obviously, once you graduate and you start to work full time, and you're starting to, you know, see some real cash flow, that's when you really want to prioritize building a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So avoid high interest debts. Like we talked about earlier, start investing early, even just small amounts. Start put a little bit away every paycheck. If you can automate it, even better, right? After every paycheck, a little bit from whatever it is, $50, $25, $100, whatever you want, automatically goes from your checking account into your savings account, and then you can spend the rest, pay off debt, whatever. If you have a lot of debt, whatever makes sense. You want to build strong credit. So paying down your debt responsibly, consistently is going to help build strong credit, especially when it gets to the point where you want to, apply for a mortgage. Definitely, you want to have strong credit. So most of you, as we discussed, have some sort of student debt. You're going to want to prioritize paying that off, as well as saving for emergency fund and starting to save for maybe a house, whatever. But again, there's so many different goals you're going to have. You really want to prioritize paying off your debt and saving an emergency fund so you don't have to go back into debt if you have an emergency. The last thing I would say is learn how taxes work. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay. What other questions do we have? Yeah. So this question, is interesting. So the question again, how much should you save versus spending? So we did talk about this earlier, but I'll reiterate. So again, these percentages are flexible. So a healthy starting point would be 50 to 60% of your money should go towards your needs, your bills, your groceries, your gas, all those things. 20 to 30% towards your wants. We have to live, we have to enjoy life, right? So we can't just put it all towards saving for the future. You want to have some money for today, obviously. So 50 to 60% towards your needs, 20 to 30% for your wants, and then 15 to 25% towards your savings. Adjust based on income reality, though, right? It's more about consistency than perfection. So just building those habits and just starting somewhere and continuously, putting a little bit away each paycheck. Yeah, perfect. Great. Great question. Um, what other questions do we have? This is like lightning round. We're going fast here. Yeah, so a realistic emergency fund, I would say, would be 3 to 6 months of your core expenses. So when I say core expenses, that'd be your biggest, your main fixed expenses, not the ones that you're eating out or going out for fast food or anything like that. I'm talking about your core fixed expense that every month you have coming in. Yeah, so 3 to 6 months would be my suggestion. If you have some of you here are going to be in the self-employed world, if your income is variable, lean towards 6 months, just to be on the safer side. You want to, and if you have paychecks where you're getting way more some months than others, um, when you have those good months, save a good chunk of that. So for the rainy days, when the months you have for the months where you don't have much, that way you're kind of smoothing out your income, so you always have money to pay your bills. Yeah, right. I would say keep in the low risk, low volatility type portfolio inside your TFSA. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want it, because you want that money for emergencies. You don't want to invest in something more volatile. You want it to be very low. You want it to be liquid. So I wouldn't recommend GICs. Nope. You would want it to be liquid. You want to have quick access to it. Yeah, if need be. Because if you pull the money out of your GSE before it matures, then you've lost all the interest rate. And GICs, they don't typically pay a lot anyways in interest. So it doesn't make sense for emergency funds. No. Okay, yeah, perfect. So this question is, how do I budget with variable income? Okay, so budget off your lowest reliable monthly income. Save excess income in strong months. So we talked about that, right? So you want to, if you're making a lot of money one month or a couple months, and you're not making a lot of money other months, save when you have the big months to smooth out the smaller months. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just going back and forth between my chat screen to see if there's any questions in the chat. Do we have any other questions here? Yeah, so along the same lines, this question's about OSAP. Uh, so should you pay off your loans or save first? So we talked about emergency savings and paying off your debt. It's a great question. If your OSAP interest is low, often prime linked, right? So it's often linked to the prime interest rate. Um, you want to build your emergency fund first. Then once you have that set up, then split between investing and repayment. However, if your loan interest is greater than 6%, 7%, prioritize repayment. You can't guarantee, no one can guarantee what you're going to earn in your investments. Especially if you're saving in an emergency fund, it's going to be typically lower earning because you're a low risk profile, like we talked about earlier. So if your debt interest payments are going to be higher than what you could earn in your investments, then definitely prioritize debt repayment first. Yeah, great question. All right, to the chat. I did see a question in the chat here. Yeah, we talked about that. If loan interest is, yeah, should I invest while having student loans? We talked about that. Again, same thing. If your loan interest is higher than what you will probably earn on investments, if it helps you sleep better at night, pay off your loan first. Right. Yeah, no, exactly, exactly. Uh yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll pivot. So CPP. So for those of you, there's a good chunk of you who are planning on going to be self-employed contractors. Um, so the way CPP works is you actually would pay both the employee and the employer portion. Um, Currently, that would be approximately 11.9% combined on eligible income. So make sure at tax time you take that into consideration when you're meeting with your accountant that you will be owing that money to the CRA. Yeah. So for 2026, the max was, I believe, just over $9,200. I'd have to double check the exact amount, but it was just over $9,200, the employee and the employer combined amount. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. No, you're welcome. Um, I mean, it depends on the career you're looking at going. A lot of people, when they go self-employed, they stay self-employed. The question, the decision whether or not you should move to salary later on, it's completely up to you. Um, Typically, for people who want that stability, they want the group benefits maybe that are being provided. Um, then maybe that's that. If they don't like the volatility and the unknown, then yeah, you'd want to move to salary. But I mean, typically people who go into self-employed is because they want that higher earning potential, right? Yeah, and the tax deductions that come with being self-employed. Yeah, exactly. Uh, examples would be your if you have a home office expenses, marketing, advertising, those are 100% deductible. Your cell phone, your internet, your laptop, computers, car, your car interest payments, mileage. You get a percentage you can deduct depending on how much you drive for work. versus how much you drive total in the year. That ratio you could use to write off your fuel expenses, car insurance, maintenance, lease interest if you're leasing a vehicle. Yeah. Professional dues. Some of you are going to have professional dues. Any courses, insurances, things like that. Yeah, all deductible. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It really brings your taxable income down. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for your car, you can only write off the business use portion. And it's important to keep a mileage log. The CRA, if you're audited, they may ask for that. Yeah, exactly. Uh, yes, I get this question a lot. So, yeah, exactly. Reducing your taxes legally, absolutely. We talked about that. Some of the deductions you can use. Using your TFSA and RSP strategically. Uh, contributing to your RSP, you get an immediate tax. It drops your taxable income dollar for dollar. Right. Yeah. You just want to make sure that you track your deductions carefully. And consider quarterly tax installments. If you're not paying any tax, you're earning a lot of money. You want to make sure that you're doing at least quarterly tax installments to CRA so that when tax time comes, you don't have this massive tax bill. Again, work with your accountant, work with your financial planner to make sure you get on top of that. Yeah, perfect. Great. Any other questions? These are great questions. Yes. Okay. TFSAs, yes. So the tax free savings account versus RSP, no, it's a great one. A lot of people don't know the difference. Tax free savings accounts, especially, have been poorly marketed, I think, by a lot of institutions. Um, yeah. Yeah. RSPs, they make more sense when your income is higher and you're in a higher tax bracket. If you have to decide between contributing between one or the other, yeah. And then the first time home buy, yeah, exactly. So the first home savings account, the FHSA, I always have to remember the acronym for that, is tax deductible contributions like an RSP, tax free withdrawals for first time home buyers, like a tax free savings account. It's tax free withdrawals, and then $8,000 per year is your contribution limit up to a $40,000 lifetime maximum amount. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay. Awesome. These are great questions. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time to allow me to speak. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, I have been recording this so that I can put the Q&A section on my YouTube channel. So, feel free to check that out if you want to, get a refresher on the questions we asked in the Q&A. Feel free to like and subscribe. Uh, but again, it's been a privilege and an honor to speak in front of you. You all have my contact information, and if you do have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to have a chat, and thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Okay, bye bye.